Hi, this is Shara with Psychic Miss Paranormal Elite Paranormal Specialists. The video I have for you today is from an experiment called the Deity Experiment, and I did this experiment almost a year ago. I'm of no particular religion, but I do believe that there are higher forces that do interfere and intervene in your life. And with the many decades that I've been working in the paranormal field, there are so many different and vast entities, and there are lots of deities. I'm not trying to knock anyone's religion. I know a lot of people believe in just one deity, but in my experiences, I have come across many. So in this particular experiment, I called forth the deity that has done many wonderful things in my life, and I wanted to get some information about this deity, and it's not clear exactly which particular deity this was, but that's why I was asking a lot of questions, and I think that you will find the evidence that I got very compelling. So I'm going to start off showing you a little bit of the setup of the experiment and how we got started. I'm just about ready to get started. I have my table set up, my computer's ready, laptops. I still have a few things charging over here, but I have a couple things over here, just a camera, but so like I said, not too much in the way of equipment, but what I need, I think, to accomplish this trial experiment. So I guess without further ado, let us begin. So this is the official start of the experiment. I'm calling this experiment the God Who Loves Me because I do pray to a deity every night, and there is some higher force out there that I know watches over me and my family and has given us miracles. So I am going to start off by making a sigil to make this evocation even more powerful. So on this paper here, I just made a sigil that I'm going to transfer onto this paper, and then I'm going to charge it. Sigils are a meaningful correlation to what your intention is, and it draws power to what it is that you are trying to do. In this case, contact this entity. So by doing this, I'm making all my intentions and everything in my entire arsenal work harder for me to make my results more profound. And I will be teaching a course on how to make sigils and different things in the near future, so keep posted. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to literally transfer this to this special paper here, which is really nothing more than aluminum foil. And everything that I'm using, all my tools, have been consecrated and charged. I use specific magical techniques to do that, more specifically Eastern arts, because they're stronger and more powerful than the Western arts, unfortunately, but that's because they're more ancient, and the more ancient arts are definitely more powerful. So after tracing that on there, hopefully I can see it. Sometimes it comes out funny, especially on this desk. I wish I had something harder to do this with. Let me see, I do. Here we go. So I'm just going to retrace that so I could see my lines much better. There's an art that goes into the creation of sigils, and some of you may be familiar with sigils and how to do them. There are so many different ways that you can create a sigil, and for so many different things. But this is what I call a trial experiment. It's the first one I'm doing for this particular experiment anyway. So if it comes out good, then I'll get more elaborate Alright, so that's ready, and now it's time to charge. So now it's time to charge the sigil, and I'm using a plasma ball to do that because, you know, a plasma ball is cool, but don't let it fool you. It is a Tesla coil in there, and it does have a little bit of power. You can get shocked and hurt with it. This is what I use to work with, but I still get little shocks. So seriously, don't really do this unless you know what you're doing. So to charge it, and you can see the little lightning. See it? You can hear it. So I go over the sigil with this. So like I said, this charges it up. It also charges me up. I feel tingling in my hand, but you can't do this with just anything. So like I said, I like to go over this a couple of times. And this is making this more powerful, more strong, so that I can get better results. So after I go over it like twice, then I'll just let it sit there and charge for a few more minutes. So now that this has been charging, I'm going to shut that off and take my sigil, bring it back to my desk, and it is time to start putting the equipment on. So I'm just loading up my laptops, and I will be in a minute. As soon as things are loaded, I'll turn on my sensors, I'll place my cameras, and I will also, I've got to turn that on, turn on my audio equipment. So, I mean, I don't know if this is boring to you guys, but I've had so many people ask me if I would do these live. I have reasons that would really make it difficult for me to do this live. Alright, so I mean, I have things planned out. I always make a list of everything I'm going to do, and that's what you see here. But things change as the experiment goes on. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to start placing these, and I will be back when I'm done. I'm going to summon the spirits of the deity that I wish to speak with. I did it once, but my camera didn't work. I call to thee, most powerful God. Please hear my request to the God that loves me. Please come to me now, the God that creates miracles in my life. Hear my plea and materialize for me here and now, so that I and thee may communicate. I wish to learn about your greatness, your presence, and to teach others of what I learned from you here tonight. O Lord of Lords, grace me with your company tonight and allow me to bask in your glory and knowledge. I burn this candle in your honor, and I humbly and sincerely offer you this bread and wine. Thank you for being here with me tonight with harm to no one. And this is the offering of bread and wine. This experiment turned out to be quite successful. Many EVPs were captured, and I'm going to play the EVPs in between showing you some video clips and some pictures that were captured, as well as EQZ Images. So I'm going to use the S-Box.
S-Box. Scanning.
Okay. So I'm going to do this a couple of different ways, if we can do that. The next EVP is very interesting. I asked, are you here with me? And the first time I got I am, and on another recorder I got here with you and then here. The word here and I am almost sound like the exact same voice, but it was on two different recorders. You didn't hear the words "here with me" on the one recorder. So I just thought it was really interesting how, the two different recorders will pick up answers to the same questions, but like I said, the one that says "here" and the one that says "I am" are different, same voice. I just thought it was interesting. Are you here with me? Are you here with me? Do you have a name? What are you the god of? Are you the Christian God? Do you come from within or outside of the multiverse? Do you rule over everything in the universe? How does that work? Did you create human beings? Which race of human beings did you create? There are so many different races on this planet. Does that mean that there was a creator God from each race? I just wanted to give a quick explanation for the next EVP. I wasn't trying to be arrogant or anything like that. The question came up because I had a few entities mention that I was a special human being, and I think it was because of my ability to be able to communicate with so many different entities and to be able to reach some of them. But I just asked because I'm trying to get answers for these things. Not out of arrogance. I just wanted to clarify. Do you feel that I am a special human, and why? How do you keep watch over the human race? Is Jesus from a different race of beings than you are? What is your role as a god of this world? How many gods created the people of this planet? Did you create the planet itself? Did you ever incarnate on this planet? Do you require people to worship you and pray to you? Do you answer prayers, and if so, how often? Where do human beings go when they die? All right, so I had to say something about this EVP because through the years I've studied, deceased people and asked about heaven, hell, and where they go when they die. And I have concluded that it is your belief of what you think is going to happen to you that really dictates what your afterlife consists of. Yes, it's a lot more complicated than that, but in a nutshell, that's pretty much what happens, what directs you. And this EVP just verifies that. I thought that this was important. So watch what you think, what you think you deserve in your afterlife, because you might just experience that. Is it true that there are 6 layers of complete multiverses? So just by them saying doubt, gotta prove it? I mean, I think I'm onto something here. What is a soul? What is it made of? Are human bodies just a shell? Are doing things like lining up meters and sensors that hard to do? Can you give me a way that I can make communications between me and the spirit world a lot easier than this? Do gods have souls? Who or what created bugs and insects? Do bugs and insects have souls? Do you have a family? And if so, can you tell me more about that? So for those of you that have followed me for a while, the answer to this question was Josh. So Josh is an entity from a group of people called the Squask, and they're a new race that I discovered many years ago. I've been in touch with their malevolent, and Josh and his cohorts have been kind of crashing into my experiments for years now. So this was just a, hey, I'm here. Just wanted to let you know. That did maybe not answer my question, but it was relevant to the point that he's letting me know that he was here. I just wanted to explain that. Do fallen angels and or demons have rule over the earth? If so, who or which one of them is in charge? What fallen angels or demons are in charge of the earth? Why is knowledge forbidden? What secrets are being hidden from the population and why? Who is trying to kill off the human population and why? I always ask questions that not only try to further my knowledge of the universe and what's going around in the invisible worlds, but I ask questions for myself too. I mean, I had a deity, the one that I talk to all the time, or at least that was the idea. And I wanted to ask more about Josh because he's been invading my life for a long time. So that's what the next question is about. And the answers are quite correct. Who is Josh and Chris of the mass-based beings? Why do they, Josh and Chris, want me to sell souls? What is their purpose with me? What is my purpose in this life? Who created the entire multiverse? Is this multiverse just a mirror universe? What message would you like me to know? Can you give me some advice? So tell me how you feel about talking with me. Are you here with me? And can you tell me what your name is? What are you the god of? What religion do you support? Do you come from inside or outside of the multiverse? Which race of human beings did you create? So here's that question again that I asked about being a special human, and the answer this time kind of led me to believe that this is definitely the God that I usually work with. Just the answer is about wanting a vessel, and how I wanted to come here to the earth because I had specific purpose. And this is something I remembered ever since I was a little kid. So I guess this is the more validation for this particular question. Like I said, it wasn't meant to be anything weird. I just been told that a lot, and it kind of goes along with what I knew as a child. Do you feel that I am a special human, and why? Who are the three entities that I always feel are around me trying to hold me back? Who are they, and what is their purpose? How do you keep watch over the human race? Are you an alien, and what is the name of your race? You are an alien. You are an alien. Is Jesus from a different race of beings? What is your role as a god of this world? How many gods took the role of creating this planet? So when I asked if they had a message for me, 6 different answers came through, and I believe it was more than just one entity that also came through. They asked me a couple of questions too. So there's some interesting information in this. Do you have a message for me? I'm just having so much trouble with cameras today. I normally don't have issues as dad. It's really irritating. It's not working. I don't know. I have to check it out more. Did you create the planet itself? Have you ever had a life on this planet? Where do you live? Do you answer prayers? And if so, how often? What is the criteria for you to decide which prayers to answer? So whenever I do an experiment, you have to expect that more than the entity that you call in will show up, because that happens in almost every single case, as did in this particular experiment as well. And there's a point, especially like from this point on, where definitely other entities did come through. And some of these entities are the squash, mass-based beings, Josh, they like to come in and hijack a lot of my experiments, or just try to let themselves be known, or stick their little messages in there, which is kind of what happens. So some of these that sound, like it's not just the deity, well, you're right, it's a different entity. Where do humans go when they die? Did you create beings that live on other planets, and if so, which planets? Who or what created you? Are there biomechanical beings? What is the soul? What is it made out of? Do gods have souls? How are God's souls different than human souls? Do bugs and insects have souls? What about bugs? Like, how much emotion do they have? Who created bugs and insects? Can you make it two lights? Is reincarnation a recycle track? Do fallen angels and or demons have rule over this earth? If so, who's in charge? Who's in charge of the earth? Who is running this earth into the ground? What secrets are being hidden from the population, and why? I had a being tell me from another EVP session a couple of years ago to never do anything to fuck that, I guess, to get in the way of, being curious of why things are happening. Who gave me that warning and why? And I had Lucifer tell me, and like several years before that, I had Zazel tell me that if I joined them, the world would evolve into witches. What do they mean by that? So Josh is actually an otherworldly being that I discovered years ago that belongs to a race of beings called the Squask, and he is living on a barren planet that is actually ruled by the fallen angels. So they've been wanting me to sell souls for them, which really they just mean they want to make a pact with me, which will never happen. But I suppose that's just part of this whole thing. So it makes sense to me, at least. Just wanted to explain that.
When I was a kid, I had a visitation from a devil. I'm pretty sure it was Lucifer. What did he want? Who is trying to kill off the human population and why? Who is Josh and Chris of the mass-based beings? It just seems redundant and stupid that they would come to me and ask me to do something that is virtually impossible unless there's something I don't know. What is my purpose in this life? And I feel that is there something that you would like me to know? I would like it if you could please put your energy into that whole different pictures and scenes. There's something you want us to know so that we can disprove that you are a bad guy. Nobody really knows what to think anymore. We're almost done. I just want to use another camera. And I really appreciate that you're helping me out. Can you make this meter go off at all for me? Tell me which direction I should take my paranormal endeavors. I want to make it find out if we really are just living in another kind of multiverse. I need some kind of power. I was trying to use more and more people are just not being religious believers. Could you materialize in front of the camera for just a moment? I'm going to try black. You would kindly put your energy into that.
And in this particular EVP, they were acknowledging that, yes, you already told me to put my energy in the bowl. I guess that was redundant to them, and that they complimented my bowl. I don't know, I guess they thought that me asking them to put the energy in the bowl there was a waste, and I mean, that explains most of the EVP, but still, it's nice to get the acknowledgement that they are listening to you. And now I want to show you a really cool video clip. There was a time when I was doing an EVP session and my dog was finding something very interesting that was non-visible. And of course, animals can do things like that. They sense spirits, and my dog certainly was sensing something, but it kind of freaked him out. And then you see a shadow. move across the floor. So here's this clip. Worship you and pray to you. And what is this soul? What is it made out of? But, you know, the whole purpose of this whole session is to learn about you, who you are, where you came from, who created you, did you create us? You know, what's really going on? I feel like this whole entire thing that we call life is just so not what everybody is led to believe. And I don't know if you're one of those beings that are to make better communication with spirits. I was trying to copy the spirit com and also use different tones, tone generators, frequencies, copper. I need some kind of power. I was trying to use like Tesla coils and do you come from within or outside of the multiverse? Do you have reign over another planet in the solar system, or do you rule over everything in the universe? So how does that work? Did you create human beings? There are so many different races on this planet. Does that mean that there was a creator God from each race that made the race look like the God? Ask you if you would please pose for some more pictures for me. Oh, there you go. That noise was just a break of the motion sensor that I have, the light sensor. Now it's very low. And just a little tip on ghost hunting or some of these experiments, it's better to have low lighting instead of no lighting in the majority of circumstances. Out of hundreds of full spectrum pictures that I've taken, only one came out with an image that resembles an angel. And where you see the big light area, there was no lights or lamps or anything that make that kind of light. So, you know, this was illuminated by itself. Next up are some EQZ images, and keep in mind that EQZ can capture the entity or entities in question or something related to those entities, but it also captures and draws in the energies and entities that are attracted to the energy of the entity in question, in this case the deity. So a lot of different energies were attracted to this particular experiment. And now enjoy these EQZ spirotechnology images. So here are a couple more EQZ pictures. There are 2 frames. In the first frame, you see an elephant wearing a hat. It's a profile picture. In the second frame, it's the same elephant, but now you see more of its body. Almost looks like it has a human body with a hat, and it's facing a little more forward than profile. The word Zao also came out, and it is actually a word meaning elephant, but it is in the Wolof language, which is spoken in Senegal, Gambia. And I was really debating whether or not to show you these next 2 pictures, but they came out and they were kind of funny. And it's weird that they came out with a god, but then again, sometimes it makes sense too. So I decided to show it to you, just a little heads up. They are definitely for people 21 and over. And now for some more EVPs. What are you the god of? Are you a creator god? Do you come from within or outside of the multiverse? Do you rule over everything in the universe? Did you create human beings? So, which race of human beings did you create? Are you a god that oversees the entities that incarnate in this world from outside of the multiverse? How do you keep watch over the human race? How do you hear everybody's prayers all the time? Are you an alien? Is Jesus from a different race of beings than you are? What is your role as a god of this world? Just a quick comment about that EVP. When they said he is the cardinal, they are meaning the greatest importance and fundamental. So that would make sense with that definition. How many gods created the people of this planet? Do you require people to worship you and pray to you? Where do human beings go when they die? Is it true that there are 6 layers of complete multiverses? What is a soul? What is it made of? So just a quick comment about the last EVP when it said made for kids, taking that to mean a literal meaning as God's children. Are human bodies just a shell? Can you give me a way that I can make communications between me and the spirit world a lot easier? Do gods have souls? Do you make souls for the human beings? Or how do souls come about and get into the human body? Who or what created animals? So this is an interesting comment about this last EVP when asked who or what created animals. Of course they are amazing, but Aja was one of the answers, and Aja is a deity. She's a goddess, and she's associated with nature and wilderness and animals, so that makes a lot of sense. Do animals have souls? Happy to oblige. Who or what created bugs and insects? Do you have a family, and if so, can you tell me more about that? Is reincarnation a recycle trap for humans? Do fallen angels and or demons have rule over the earth? So they want more. They want more rule over the earth. And I'd say that the way that the world is today, they're getting their way. Why is knowledge forbidden? Who is Josh and Chris of the Mass Vase Beings? Why do they, Josh and Chris, want me to sell souls? Is this multiverse just a mirror universe? What message would you like me to know? Are you here with me? Do you have a name? What are you the god of? Are you a creator god? Are you the Christian god? Do you come from within or outside of the multiverse? Do you rule over everything in the universe? Did you create human beings? Does that mean that there was a creator god from each race that made the race look like the god? Are you a god that oversees the entities that incarnate in this world from outside of the multiverse? How do you keep watch over the human race? Is Jesus from a different race of beings than you are? What is your role as a god of this world? How many gods created the people of this planet? Did you create the planet itself? Do you answer prayers, and if so, how often? Where do human beings go when they die? The following EVP is very interesting because the answer to the question came before the question. It came right before it. And this has happened before. This is also a verification that spirits know what you're thinking ahead of time. I've had this happen many times. So enjoy this next EVP. Is it true that there are 6 layers of complete multiverses? Do people really have souls? What is a soul? What is it made of? So in this last EVP, it kind of makes me wonder, like, if you have an automatic payment for accepting a soul. Like, it's your ticket into this world, but, you accepted the soul, so now your payment is karma. That makes you wonder. And then say, I'm a teacher. Well, you learn, and you get karma if you don't. So just some thoughts there. Can you give me a way that I can make communications between me and the spirit world a lot easier than this? Or you won't tell because everything's always a secret. How do souls come about and get into the human body? Who or what created bugs and insects? Do bugs and insects have souls? Do you have a family, and if so, can you tell me more about that? Is reincarnation a recycle trap for humans? Do fallen angels and or demons have rule over the earth? So that last DVP was very interesting. It is said that God gave the demons rule over the earth. So with that in mind, saying it's why they had it, that would make sense. And then once world and the outcome. So it's kind of a little story, the outcome is they wanted the world, they got rule over the earth. Sure, there's a lot more in between there, but then the end said take back, and since this is from the deity, they might be saying, hey, take back your world. So this divine encounter with the deity came out really well. There's a lot of information that was obtained, and some of it was really cool. I hope you enjoyed it, and this is Shara with Psychic Miss Paranormal and Elite Paranormal Specialist. Until next time.